Remember me?
Yeah. I signed your underwear.
Yeah. I'll treasure it forever.
You've been to a lot of my concerts, and you travel for your work.
That's right. I'm gonna stay put for a while, though. To help save your life.
Oh, no, you can't go anywhere. It's an emergency.
What did Jerry do now?
It's not Jerry, it's Christina. It's okay. She's fine. It's the school. Remember Winston School? We're trying to get her in there. There's
Right.
only 2 openings where they put her on a waiting list, and the administrator, we have to meet the administrator in 5 minutes.
I'll get the card.
No, he's coming here. I'm sorry. It wasn't my fault. He insisted. And I'm sorry about this, too. Because if you mess this up, I'm gonna have to kill you.
So, you helped Jason find Jake Spencer.
That's right.
You know Jason got locked up for jumping bail.
Whoa, don't blame me. Lucky Spencer arrested him.
How did you know where Jake was? And what made you tell Jason where to find him? Hold on.
Hey. Oh, this is unexpected. Is something wrong with Alexis?
No. No, actually, I'm here to see you.
Me? I thought you were away on some mysterious mission.
I was. I got back last night, and I shared a car back from the airport with Amelia Joffe. She had a lot of information about you.
What are you doing?
You were snoring.
I was not. Maybe you have a fever, you're hallucinating?
If you're an hallucination, I think I can live with that one.
You're so predictable.
But you spent the night, so the question's got to be why.
So you wouldn't bleed to death.
You took great care of me.
Well, yeah, I would have done the same thing for an injured dog.
You know what? You can leave now. I don't need pity from you or anyone else.
This last-minute home visit thing is okay maybe for some people, but not for us, because we're too weird. You do understand what a profound effect her getting into Winston School will have on her life, on her level of education, on her confidence, her
I
ability
don't
to
want
get
you
into
sending my daughter to a boarding school in New Hampshire for high school.
Do you want to argue about this now, or you want to argue about it later?
Probably later.
Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking, too.
All right.
You wanted to go to college, right?
Yes.
You do know that she is tested, gifted, which she obviously gets from my side of the family in any case. We need to give her every advantage that we can.
How much is this going to cost me?
A lot.
A lot?
But you can't buy your way in here because they really want to come here and see how she lives.
But Christina lives with you.
I know that, and she plans with flying colors at my house, but for some reason they want to see Daddy's house.
Okay, then I'll tell the guy that she doesn't spend a lot of time here.
No, you can't do that. That would be bad for her because I told them that she has a wonderful relationship with both of her parents. I told them that you and I are really good friends.
I'm still not seeing the disaster here.
I need you to act normal in front of this interviewer. Do you hear me? Do not threaten him. Do not mention the coffee business. Don't speak at all. In fact, that's a much better idea. Don't speak. Don't speak. I'll speak.
Boss, there's a Huel Green here to see you.
Yeah, go ahead and send Mr. Green in.
I will as soon as Milo's done frisking him.
I called to ask her about signing the release for her interview. Her baby died in a fire, and I heard an infant crying in the background. Jason walked up then, and I told him.
Why would Jason come to you about Jake's disappearance?
I never said that he did. For all I know, he was there to see Sam.
Never occurred to you to call the police?
I was about to when Jason stopped me. He's very persuasive. And I'm sorry, why is any of this your business?
Jason's my best friend. What affects him affects me. And there's something about how he found Jake that just doesn't add up.
Amelia hates me, and she's gonna do or say anything to make me look bad.
Yeah, well, she told me about her father.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, it's true. I scammed some men, and I did kill Bill Monroe, but what Amelia always leaves out is the fact that it was in self-defense and I was exonerated. And I told Alexis, and she's been completely supportive.
Well, I wouldn't expect anything less from my aunt. Look, if you need help in any way, I can cut you loose from Amelia. All you have to do is say the word.
I think we probably could squeeze a session in right here, is in between the department meeting and after your rounds.
That's pretty tight.
You're afraid of me?
It's ridiculous.
Yes, you are. You're all left brain. Logical and detail-oriented and safe. I mean, if you're going to find your inner Eli, you're going to have to access your right brain, which is nonlinear, impetuous, and emotion-based. What?
Well, you're certainly talking my language. I'm a neurosurgeon, after all.
I'm sure you're brilliant. But I would like to remind you, when the music goes in the ear and rolls around the brain, it comes out through the hips.
Yeah, well, we have a bigger problem than my dormant right hemisphere. At the moment, Eli is not agreeing to the surgery.
Do you think that's his best chance?
Yes, I do.
Maybe I'll try to convince him. The way that I'm going to transform you into a rock star.
Well, you know what? If anybody could do it, I believe you could.
I don't know.
Excuse me, can I speak to you for a moment?
Yeah. Something wrong?
Mom, you know how happy I am to see you.
Yeah?
And I think that it's great that you are, throwing yourself into this project. But at any minute, you could get a call and have to go and save the world. Do you really think it's a good thing to make commitments that you may not be able to live up to?
Well, if you're talking about Noah and Eli, I promise you I've got that under control. But if you're saying you want me to stick around permanently, all you have to do is ask.
There you go, Mr. Q. I've got some lovely herbal tea for you.
Get that perfumed water away from me.
Well, if you think I'm going to serve you scotch before breakfast, you can think again.
Oh, Monica, thank God you're here. What have you found out?
Well, Bobby and Leslie haven't heard from Lulu, and Elizabeth and Lucky haven't talked to her in days.
She's Lucky's sister. Doesn't he even care?
Actually, Edward, she lives in our house. If anyone should be paying attention, it should be us.
You don't suppose that ungrateful child has taken off after her reprobate father?
Oh, come on, let's not jump to worst-case scenarios, all right?
Well, she didn't come home last night. She hasn't called and she doesn't answer her cell phone. But you're right. She's living here in the house with us. Therefore, she's our responsibility. We have to find out where she went.
Look, there are two ways you can read this, all right? You either stayed with me because you think I'm some sort of loser that wouldn't make it on my own, or you stayed with me because you have the hots for me.
For like 20 seconds, you're almost a human being, and then you go right back to Neanderthal.
You know what? You make up reasons to fight with me because you have feelings for me you're not willing to admit.
No. There are so many shades of gray that you haven't even considered. First of all, when I am in trouble, people help me, so I am just paying it forward. Secondly, you and I are becoming friends as much as you would allow. And third, I can admit my feelings anytime I want.
Uh-huh. I'm waiting.
What, now? Okay. I've come to realize that you are not totally obnoxious all the time. And there are moments that I think you could be worthwhile.
And you want me in that way.
Wow, the one thing I know about guys is the more they talk about it, the less they deliver. And if you think shoving your big fat ego in my face is sexy, you have a lot to learn about women.
It's cool.
So, how'd it go last night?
Hugh Green, this is Michael Corinthos Jr. Mr. Green, the administrator of Winston School. Can I get you something to drink? Some coffee, some tea?
No, thank you.
Well, then, would you like to have a seat? There you go.
Mr. Corinthos, you must be very proud of your little girl.
Yeah, I'm very proud of all my children.
Well, I didn't realize Christina had other siblings.
Yeah, my boys, they go to Queen of Angels. They love it a
We were
lot.
just talking about the fact, well, what an honor it is that you're even considering Christina at Winston School. I mean, well, we think she's special, of course, but it's nice that you think she's special too. We're very grateful.
Very grateful. To the tune of thousands, probably tens of thousands.
At the Winston School, we believe that the students' home lives position them for optimal achievement. It's vital that the parents, whether or not they're together, stress the value of an education. Where were you educated, Mr. Corinthos?
St. Teresa's.
No, I'm not familiar with St. Teresa's. Is that one of the colleges at Cambridge?
No, it's a Catholic school in Brooklyn, from kindergarten to 8th.
One assumes you also graduated from high school.
Kind of dropped out of my junior year. But, you know, I got my education from the streets, you know. It's enabled me to pay my kids' tuition and...
Self-educated. He's totally self-educated. He's very intelligent, actually. I think he tested gifted. You tested gifted, didn't you? You told me that. He reads to Christina all the time. He's a big reader. And he insists that Christina read as well. Buys her lots of books.
Excuse me, I have to take this.
Yeah.
Could you even pretend that this matters to you?
You want me to lie to that?
I want you to pretend like it's a police interrogation. Don't volunteer anything.
Boy, we got problems at the Playa. One of the pit bosses is caught skimming. He knocked up 2 of the Keno girl.
Come on, Monica. Involving Tracy in this is the craziest idea I've ever heard.
Then we just have to call the police.
Well, you can't do that because then Scott Baldwin will find out Lulu's missing and then he'll put a trail on her. And then if she really is going to find her father and her mom, then he'll find them and it'll all be ruined.
Alice, I don't give one damn about Luke Spencer, and poor Laura's just non-compass mentis. So if Scott Baldwin finds him, so be it. My main concern is that Lulu may have gotten herself into some terrible trouble.
Oh, no. She can take care of herself. She learned all the tricks from Luke before she could walk.
Well, and having a cop for a brother hasn't made one bit of
Okay,
difference.
look, this discussion is a waste of time. What we have to do is find the girl.
She's right, and you know where to start.
You put a sock in it, Alice.
No, if you're not going to tell you-know-who about you-know-what, then I'm going to.
The guys we busted down at the pier aren't talking.
Well, Sonny's men know how to keep their mouths shut, which makes the only loose cannon you. You know, Maxie's daddy would probably pin a huge gold star on your little
Coop
chest
is taking
there,
a huge risk covering for you. You should try being a little grateful.
It's all right, Maxie.
You know what? Getting shot puts me in a bad mood, all right? Knowing at some point that I have to deal with Sonny doesn't make it any better.
How you handle Sonny is your business, and I don't want to know. Can you check his wound to see if it's oozing or anything?
Oh, I hate getting nauseous this early in the day. I'm gonna make coffee.
There's not any. And there ain't anything in the fridge either.
Come on, let's go to the store.
Okay, so this is when you tell me you used your whole wounded soldier routine to get into Lulu's pants?
Benny.
Bernie.
Bernie. We're having a very important meeting here. Do you think maybe you could discuss that issue somewhere?
Alexa, there's nothing to discuss. Just get rid of the pit boss, pay off the Keno chicks.
What he means is he's going to fire the pit boss, and those two young women will, of course, receive appropriate financial benefits and health care. Isn't that right?
Is this the environment to which your daughter is exposed?
Well, I don't take my kids to the casinos to gamble, if that's what you're asking.
May I assume these are legally licensed establishments?
Is he with the IRS?
No, fancy private school. We'd love to get Christina in, too.
Where we can teach her not to dangle her participles.
But why do you have to dig into my private life? I mean, I'm not the one going to the school, right?
He's a coffee importer. He's very successful, self-made, very motivated, good work ethic. I think that's all Mr. Green really needs to know.
Bernie, we cannot be held liable for a pit boss getting two silly girls pregnant. Now, look, I have prepared releases for all of them to sign, but I'm a little preoccupied with Jason's murder trial. Oh, I'm sorry. Milo did not tell me that you had company.
He should have said something while he patted you down. Who, may I ask, is Jason?
Jason's my business partner. A lot of people think that he's a hitman and he takes out people who annoy me.
I'm certain that there is another school better suited to your daughter's needs. I can say with assurance that Winston will not be a good fit. Excuse me.
Mr. Green, if you would just give me...
Did I hear Winston Academy?
You're Kate Howard, Couture Magazine.
That's right.
This is such an honor. Huel Green, admissions director of the Winston Academy.
Wow, the most important position at any school. My pleasure's mine. How is it that you know my good friends, Sonny and Alexis?
Amelia got exactly what she wanted. You know, she wanted to make me a star, in her words, and now she can't undercut me without sabotaging herself.
Sam, you're the face of the show. I'm sure that Alexis or a good contracts attorney could find a way to push Amelia out if that's necessary.
I don't think it is. I appreciate the offer, I really do, but I don't think getting rid of Amelia is the answer here. Excuse me.
Don't even think about blowing off another day's production. You should be heading for the studio.
Or what?
Well, this is between me and Sam.
Okay, it's obvious that the only reason Sam is still working with you is because you're blackmailing her. So tell me, please, what is it exactly that you're hanging over my cousin?
Sam, would you like to answer Nicholas?
Excuse me. Hello? Yes, this is she. Okay, thank you. That would be great. Thanks. I've been approved to go up to Pentonville. I'm gonna go see Jason.
Central, right here on ABC.
I'd love to have a sweet little place here in Port Charles, just to be close to you. And then, you know, we can meet for lunch, and I could be there if you ever needed me.
Listen, I know that you would sacrifice everything for me because I know how much you love me. If I were to ask, which is why I'm not going to. I am not going to ask you to give up what makes you happy for me. I mean, at least not at this point in our lives. And then there's this other thing, this fine line between love and hovering, which you've been known to cross.
Well, it's very difficult not to meddle in your business because you play everything so close to the chest. I mean, you haven't even dropped me a hint about Patrick.
Well, you caught me in his apartment. That should tell you something.
Oh, give your mother a morsel, can't you? Good Lord.
Patrick and I are in a good place.
Yeah?
Yeah, so let's not rock that boat.
Are you too afraid to tell him how you feel?
No, we're in love, and we tell each other all the time. We talk about the good things, and we acknowledge the bad stuff.
Well, that's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
What about marriage?
That's what people normally do when they're in love, eventually. All things being equal.
Oh, wow. Children?
Since when are you eager to be a grandmother?
Oh, I didn't think it through. No. Being a mom is my single greatest joy. I want you to experience that. But maybe not just yet.
Yeah, Patrick and I will figure that out when the time comes. But, you know, I'm not going to tell him what he wants to hear and hope that he'll change his mind later.
Good for you.
Listen, Patrick is an amazing man and I am crazy in love with him, so we are not the ones that need your help.
Okay.
Eli Love does. He has not agreed to do the surgery and he's running out of time.
The wound isn't that deep. You're definitely strong enough to hook up with Lulu.
You still want to watch? Coop might find it a little weird if you're in my closet.
Well, if I miss the first time you hook up with Lulu, I'm sure there'll be other opportunities. If what you say about yourself is true. Oh, come on, Logan. Isn't this where you tell me I'm going to find out for myself?
Oh, yeah. That too.
Don't blow it.
Here you go. You got it?
Yeah.
How's he doing?
Wound seems to be healing just fine, but I think Lulu should probably take over the bandaging.
You have been great, Maxie. I couldn't have done this without you.
Well, I did it for you. Ugh, get a room.
I've got to get to work. All right, I'll check in on you later.
You want some juice or something?
Sure. You know, you don't have to stay. It turns out that I'm gonna live after all.
I see. You don't need me anymore, so don't let the door hit me on the way out.
I'm just saying, you don't have to stay anymore. Unless you want to.
All I'm saying is, can we trust this guy? I mean, should we send somebody to talk to him?
Can we table the topic of retaliation until the lawyer is out of the room?
Let's talk about the casino.
Why don't we sit down? Bitsy Houghton sends her children to Winston. We sit together on the city center board. Or is it the Arts Council?
Bitsy is one of our most active mothers.
Have you been to her home? The Chagall over the fireplace. She plans on loaning it to MoMA next year.
Christina is a budding artist. She's also way ahead of the curve in reading and spelling.
Sonny knows how I feel about progressive education, nurturing creativity. It's one of the reasons I recommended Winston to him.
You did.
I did?
I have such respect for Couture since you took over. You lead the way on so many issues.
Oh, none more important than nurturing our children. Don't you agree, Alexis?
It takes a village.
Christina is a promising child.
And bright.
No, very bright. But I wasn't aware that you knew Mr. Corinthos.
They're neighbors.
And old dear friends for years. We spent hours going over schools before deciding that Winston was the perfect fit for Christina. I assured him, with her qualities and Sonny's checkbook, that her acceptance wouldn't be a problem.
Any friend of Kate Howard is a friend of Winston.
Sorry it took so long. I had to deal with something. Everybody get along?
Brilliantly.
I don't mean to pry, but may I ask, how did you meet Miss Howard?
Here I was all set to jump on you for not showing up at work, but the chance to see Jason, wow, that changes everything. You two must have a lot to talk about.
It's clear that she has something that she's using against you. I told you, if you want my help, I'll...
Nicholas, I appreciate it. I really do, but nobody's twisting my arm. I want to be on Everyday Heroes, and Amelia and I will find a way to coexist.
Okay. Well, when you're ready to fill me in, I'm ready to help. Thanks.
I wonder if Nicholas would be so quick to jump to your defense if he knew that you stood by and watched as his nephew was kidnapped.
Yeah, except Jake isn't his nephew, and maybe that's what Nicholas needs to know.
You can't put the surgery off any longer.
I haven't heard you say I'll make a full recovery yet. I need to be able to still work.
Look, Mr. Love, the only guarantee that I can give you is that without the surgery, you will not survive.
No one can promise results with brain surgery.
Hi. Sorry to intrude. How you doing?
Apparently I might be dying.
Eli wants a promise that the surgery won't leave him impaired.
Yeah, that's the trouble with rock stars. They expect to get what they ask for. I mean, it's a shame you're just not like the others, demanding white flowers in your dressing room and no red candies backstage.
I partial to my brain the way it is.
Apparently your affection is misplaced. Your brain is vulnerable and it intends to harm you. And no matter how much you wish it so, you are, as Patrick so brilliantly put it, a time bomb. So just how selfish do you intend? I thought that we had settled this earlier. I told you that it is wrong of you to choose to die. You are going to break a lot of hearts.
I got no kids, not married, won't leave anybody behind.
Well, I'm offended. You know, when you get up there and you accept those awards and you say, I would like to thank my fans, it seems like you don't really mean it. No, look, here's the problem, Eli. Because you have set up your life so you answer to no one. And now, you're going to die the same way? Oh, God, that is so sad. It is. I would like to stick around just to make sure that my gravestone didn't say she died lonely and alone.
I've had my share of good times.
Oh, I'm not talking about signing some woman's underwear. I mean, you're already a genius at writing about solitude and passion. What I want to hear is what you would say about deep, abiding love. You would make me cry. I know it.
You want to keep me alive to make you cry.
Yeah. I want you to grasp possibilities. And when you're all well, fall in love. It doesn't have to be with me. And write and sing about it. You'll thank me. I promise.
You know, for someone who doesn't know me very well, you sure take some liberties, sister.
Oh, I know you better than you think.
So is that a yes?
Anna has to hold up her part of the bargain, all right? She's got to make sure that your old man rocks the house.
It was one summer, ages ago. I was at my family home in Connecticut, a small town called Wilton.
Near Fairfield.
And Sonny's car broke down. I lent him the use of my phone. It was purely by chance, but we've been friends ever since.
Yeah, I asked Kate's opinion on, Lex and I were discussing schools, and Winston was her first choice, but the other schools were very interesting.
You'll have to go far to beat Winston. Oh, you've definitely made the right choice, and Winston is looking forward to Christina's ride.
So are we. We really are. So looking forward to it. Unless there's something you need from me, I can show you out.
No.
Thank
Fine.
you.
Very good.
This way.
It's my pleasure.
Likewise.
There you go.
Wow, that was very nice.
Well, I like spreading my made-up pedigree around.
I have no idea why you lied for us, but I am so grateful. Thank you.
Well, it wasn't all lies. We are old friends. Now I owe her big time.
Jerry. Well,
Stunning dress. Well, I recommend the porridge for breakfast with strawberries.
I don't care about your breakfast. Have you made any progress proving Jason's innocent?
Come on, darling, relax. I promise you my best efforts, but not magic. And it's obvious that Jason is guilty of Alcazar's murder.
Can you keep your voice down,
But it's coming up with a reasonable alternative is no sure thing.
Okay, you managed to convince half this town that you're not James Craig. I'm sure you can come up with a viable out for Jason.
Well, you see, I was highly motivated then.
I'll be your biggest cheerleader. I'll smooth everything out with Sonny. I will tell the whole town that you were the best thing since sliced bread.
Well, now's a good time to start your campaign.
Surprised to see me?
Why? What happened?
Well, he tried to have me killed while I was in Russia.
Great idea, Sam. Blow Jason's secret. Tell everyone that he's Jake Spencer's father. That Lucky was betrayed by his wife and a career criminal. Lucky will dump Elizabeth and she'll be free to welcome Jason home from Pentonville with open arms. That is, if he even gets released, which he might not. Gosh, how sad for poor baby Jake growing up without a father.
Well, you grew up without a father, and look at how well you turned out. Do you know your father never even mentioned you until after we were married? Yeah, I had told him, well, that's great. Then we should put a picture of her up on the bookshelf since you were his only child. But it was so strange. The only picture he had of you was when you were like 5, and he didn't seem to care much, so.
If that were true, you would have told me before.
I'm telling you now because there's no reason to protect your feelings. And get this straight, I am going to see Jason, and I'm going to tell him the whole truth. And nothing but.
Well, I gotta say, Eli owes you his life. You are the most persuasive, determined woman I've ever met.
Oh. How come you think it's so adorable on her, but not so much on me?
I don't know. Maybe it's your accent.
Thanks.
Hey.
You want to kiss me right now, don't
Yes,
you?
I do.
Too bad Miss Steve could be lurking.
Miss Sneak can wait a turn.
Really?
Terrible.
I don't know her.
What are you smirking about?
Well, Anna convinced Eli to have the surgery, so that means spotlight's on you, old man.
Oh, dear God. Oh. Wow. This is real? Well, I'm happy for Eli, but I think I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Oh, no, it's fine. You'll be lovely. I mean, you almost look the part. Just need a little grooming.
And the show's in 2 weeks, so you have time to prepare.
Exactly. I mean, there's just that fundraising cocktail tomorrow. But you don't have to sing there. You just have to prove that you're the real deal, you know? Oh, one thing. Eli is a really heavy drinker. I hope you can hold your liquor.
I honestly don't know how I can ever thank you.
Okay, when Christina is old enough to read the big words, make sure she has her own subscription to Couture magazine.
No problem.
Oh, you're welcome.
Love your dress. I love the whole look.
Thank you for that. Not that I, care if Christina goes to some rich, snobby school, but it means a lot to Alexis. She's been through a lot and she's earned it.
Well, you should care, Sonny, because at Winston, Christina will have the advantages that we didn't.
We didn't do so bad. And I know it took a lot to admit that we've known each other.
Sometimes you have to do that for a friend.
Yeah? Hey, you know what? You want to go out to dinner? I mean, I got a casino. We can go there. Nobody would see us.
No. No one except a thieving pit boss and 2 knocked-up Keno girls? I know you're grateful, Sonny, and I accept her thanks, but we've already been seeing too much of each other, so. I'll see you around.
What are you talking about? Says I planned some sort of attempt on your life?
What happened?
I went to Russia to look for Jake. I thought he may have taken him for leverage.
I don't snatch babies, and no, blaming me for every trauma that occurs in Port Charles is both a waste of time and effort.
I barely escaped from my ride.
Okay, look, are you sure it wasn't Helena? The Cassadines have plenty of enemies in Eastern Europe, Nicholas.
Well, I doubt that Jax would run interference for Helena.
Jax is in Russia?
No touching the prisoner, no passing of objects.
Okay.
Wait there. We're gonna be in soon.